Hi guys, Ria here. Today we're going to look at this short question that focuses on the coordinate geometry of the line and also has some probability, so let's go straight into the question. So in part A of the question, they tell you that AB is a line segment and the point C divides the line segment internally in the ratio 1:3 and A is the point 113, and they want you to find the coordinates of the point B. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a diagram to help us visualize the information they've given us in the question. So this is what our diagram looks like. We have the line segment AB and we also have our point C, and then we have the ratio is 1:3. So in order to to find the coordinates of the point B, we need to use a formula that's located on page 18 of the formula and tables book. So here's page 18 and we're going to be using this formula here that's located at the bottom of the page. So here's our formula. So the next step is to label and sub in. So this will be our x1, y1, and we don't know what the coordinate b is, so I'm going to label that x2, y2. And then our a and our b is going to be our values of our ratio. And then this is going to be equal to our point C. So now I'm just going to go ahead and sub that all in. So here's what it looks like when we're all subbed in, and this is going to be equal to our coordinate C, which is 6, 11. So now I'm going to go ahead and tidy this up. So when we tidy that up, we're left with 3 plus x2 all over 4, and then we're left with 39 plus y2 all over 4 is equal to 611. So now we need to solve. So first of all, if we look at our x-coordinates, you can see that this is our x-coordinate and this is our x-coordinate, so we're going to equal them to each other. So we have 3 plus x2 all over 4 is equal to 6, so I'm going to put this over 1 and I'm going to cross multiply. So this will be 24 is equal to 3 plus x2. So I'm going to take my 3 across and we'll be left with 21 is equal to x2. So now for our y-coordinate, this is our y-coordinate, so I'm going to go ahead and equal them to each other and solve again. So again, I'm going to put this over 1 and I'm going to cross multiply. So 4 by 11 will give me 44 is equal to 39 plus y2. I'm going to take my 39 across and that'll become a minus, so I'll be left with 5 is equal to y2. So now our coordinate b will be equal to 21, 5. So that's your answer to the first part of the question, and to get that answer you get a total of 5 marks. In part B of the question, they want you to find the perpendicular distance from the point 5 minus 2 to the line y is equal to 4 over 3x minus 11. So in order to solve this part of the question, you need to use a formula on page 19 of the formula and tables book. So here's page 19, and this time we're going to be using the formula that's located at the top of the page. So now that we have our formula, our next thing to do is to find out what each of our values are. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on our line. So this is our equation of the line here, and I don't want it in fraction form because that just makes it quite hard for us to solve. So what I'm going to do to get rid of the fraction is I'm going to multiply across by 3. So that'll leave us with 3y is equal to 4x minus 33. So now I'm going to get everything over to the one side. So this will be 4x, we take our 3y across, become a minus. Minus 33 is equal to 0. So now we can say that a is equal to 4, b is equal to minus 3, and then c is equal to minus 33. And now we also have our points they've given us in the question, that's 5 minus 2. So this is going to be our x1 and this is going to be our y1. So now that we have all of our points and all of our values, we're going to go ahead and sub into our formula. So now this is what it looks like when we're all subbed in. So I'm going to go ahead and tidy this up. So this will be the absolute value of 4 by 5 will give me 20, minus 3 by minus 2 will give me plus 6, and then minus 33. All over the square root of 4 squared gives me 16, and minus 3 squared will give me 9. So tidying this up, this will leave me with the absolute value of minus 7 all over root 25. So the absolute value signs means we're just going to take the positive of this. So this is going to leave us with 7. And then the square root of 25 will leave us with 5. So this is your answer to this part of the question. And to get that answer, you get a total of 10 marks. So in part C of the question, they tell you in the coordinate diagram below, 16 points are marked with a dot. And all of the points are in the form mn, where m and n are natural numbers and m and n are less than or equal to 4. And they tell you that a pair of these points is picked at random, and they ask you how many different pairs of points can be picked from these 16 points. So if you think about it, we have 16 points, and they are asking you how many pairs of points. So in a pair, there's going to be 2. So we're going to have to use the combination function on our calculator in order to solve this part of the question. So this is going to be 16, and then in order to get the combination, we need to press catalog, go down to probability, and select combination, and click 2, and that gives us an answer of 120. So that basically means that 120 different pairs of points can be picked from 16 points. And then in part II of the question, they tell you that the 2 points that are picked are joined with a straight line, and they want you to find the probability that this line is horizontal. So the first thing we need to do is we need to find the number of different horizontal lines. So looking at our diagram, you can see that we have 4 horizontal rows with 4 dots. So the first thing we need to do is we need to calculate the number of different points, pairs of points that can be selected on each line. So in order to calculate this, you know that we have 4 points on each line, and we want to calculate the number of different pairs that can be selected. So that's going to be 4 choosing 2. So you need to put that into the calculator. And that gives me an answer of 6. So now on the diagram, we also noted that there's also 4 rows. So we're going to have to multiply this by 4, and that'll give us an answer of 24. So now I'm going to put 24 all over the answer of the previous question, which is 120, which is the number of different pairs of points that can be picked from 16 points. So now I'm going to put that into the calculator just to simplify it down. So that gives us an answer of 1/5. So that's your answer to the final part of the question. So to get parts I and II both completely correct, you get a total of 15 marks. So that concludes the question, guys. Hopefully it's all a bit easier now, and thanks very much for watching.